Hey guys, welcome back to Raven Stories. Today's story is a wild one. This comes from r/relationship_advice, and it's called My Boyfriend Begged Me for a Threesome Then Got Mad. She made me finish twice. Let's get into it. She starts off by saying, "First, please don't judge me. I've been doing plenty of that myself already. I just need some advice because I feel like I'm at a breaking point. A friend of mine suggested I post here to get some perspective." She says, "A while ago, my boyfriend shared with me that one of his biggest sexual fantasies was to have a threesome. I was honestly pretty hurt by that because the idea of inviting someone else into our sex life just seemed so odd to me. It did make me feel iffy about our relationship, but the months after that were wonderful again, and he didn't bring it up again until recently. So for context here, she's 22 and he's 27, and they've been together for almost 4 years. So she was about 18 when they started dating, and he was 23. And this is also her first long-term relationship. I'm just going to leave that there for now, but keep it in the back of your mind because the comments definitely had something to say about that." She continues, "We talked about it for a couple days, and he was so reassuring and patient at the time that I did end up agreeing to it. We agreed there should be no emotional attachments, and it should be with someone we weren't friends with, so I ended up DMing a pretty girl who I shared a seminar with and who I knew was bisexual from her Insta profile. It was super awkward, but she said she was open to it. My boyfriend also approved and said he was fine with whomever I was fine with." Okay, so already there are some red flags with how this whole thing was set up. She didn't even want to do this in the first place. Brought it up, she was uncomfortable, he let it go for a while, then brought it back up and slowly talked her into it. And then, on top of that, he has her be the one to go find the third person. He's putting all the legwork and all the awkwardness on her for something that was his idea. And she's DMing a girl from her class, someone she's going to see every single week, which is just a recipe for complications. But she's young. It's her first serious relationship, and she trusted him. So she went along with it. She says, "We ended up doing it, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. But my boyfriend didn't. He said it wasn't how he thought it would go, that she seemed inexperienced in bed and didn't know how to divide her attention. It did seem like she was more attentive towards me, but I think it was largely because I was so nervous at first, so I thought it was sweet of her to help me relax. And I thought my boyfriend would appreciate it too, since it took me so long to even agree to this." She goes on to say, "I also don't think she was really inexperienced since I enjoyed what she did, and on top of that, she helped me be comfortable too. In fact, she made me finish 2 times, which was a first for me, since it generally takes a while for me to even finish once." Okay, so let's just break this down for a second. This man begged for a threesome, got exactly what he asked for, and then got upset because the other girl paid more attention to his girlfriend than to him. And on top of that, the girl made his girlfriend finish twice, something he apparently has never been able to do in 4 years together. So now he's embarrassed and insecure, but instead of owning that, he's about to make it everyone else's problem. Classic. Now here's where it gets interesting. She says, "It was awkward between me and my boyfriend for a while, but the tension settled, and he was back to normal after a couple of days. I had been texting with the girl leading up to the threesome, and after it, we haven't really stopped. I thought it was odd at first, but she continued texting me and I enjoyed talking to her, so we kept DMing. She also sat next to me in my seminar every week, and we got coffee together afterwards. So at this point, she's not even thinking about it romantically. She's just like, oh yeah, this girl is cool, we vibe, we get coffee. Meanwhile, this other girl is probably very much aware of how she feels, but she's being patient and respectful about it. She's not pushing anything. She's just being present. And honestly, that's kind of adorable. But then, as soon as I told my boyfriend that though, thinking it was funny, he got mad and said I should block her and not talk to her. When I said we were literally in the same seminar, which he didn't mind before when I showed her to him, he said I should drop out of the class. Drop out of the class. Let that sink in for a second. This man wants his girlfriend to drop an entire university course because he can't handle the fact that she's friends with this girl. A girl that he asked her to bring into their relationship in the first place. The audacity is genuinely unreal. She continues, "We got into a big fight where I also brought up that I didn't even want to have a threesome at first, and that he pressured me into doing it. He kept asking, 'So you think I'm a manipulator?' over and over, and just overwhelming me. He said that I was breaking the rule we had, tried to blame me for choosing her, and also badmouthed her, which really threw me off. He said that she was just trying to sleep with me and trying to mess up our relationship, and that I'm borderline cheating on him." There's so much to unpack here. First off, the whole "so you think I'm a manipulator" thing repeated over and over. That is textbook manipulation. He's deflecting and making her feel guilty for calling out his behavior. Second, he's blaming her for choosing the girl when he literally told her to go find someone. And now he's bad-mouthing this girl who did nothing wrong. She came into the situation respectfully. She was kind and attentive, and now he's painting her as some kind of predator trying to steal his girlfriend. Nah, man. You played yourself. She says, "It's been 2 days since then, and we haven't talked to each other at all. My friends tried to convince me to break up with him, but we've been dating for almost 4 years, and it just kind of feels like it would be a waste." I ended up replying to the texts from the girl in my class, and I did feel really guilty since that was the whole reason me and my boyfriend fought, but it has been nice to talk to her, and she has been really understanding and let me vent. I don't know if I should just go through with it and tell her we should stop talking, though at the same time, I don't like the thought of my boyfriend controlling me, as my friends have said. So she's stuck in that classic trap. 4 years of her life with this guy, and she doesn't want to feel like it was all for nothing. But her friends are all telling her the same thing. The people in the comments are telling her the same thing. And deep down, I think she already knows what she needs to do. She's just not ready to admit it yet. So let's see what the comments had to say about this. The top comment with almost 8,000 upvotes just nails it. They said, boyfriend was expecting that he was going to have sex with 2 girls. He never wanted his girlfriend to have sex with another person. And honestly, that's the whole story right there. He didn't want a threesome. He wanted 2 women focused entirely on him. He wanted a fantasy straight out of a website, not an actual experience where everyone is involved and enjoying themselves. Someone replied to that and said, he wanted a scene from his favorite website, not for the bi girl to actually be bi. And another person added, to actually be bi, and better at getting his girlfriend off than he was. That one had people going. One commenter said, he's not even jealous. That implies he cares about her pleasure. He's angry that she had a better time with the girl. It damaged his ego. And someone else pointed out, I think it's also very easy for people to fall into the mindset of women are just harder to make finish. So if my female partner doesn't, it's not me. That's just how they're wired. And he could think that about her until the threesome, and was proven in front of his face that the problem was him. Some people are cool with knowing they aren't good enough. They just don't like it to be proven that they aren't. That's a bar right there, honestly. Another commenter said, that was a logistical nightmare for him. As per her own admission, he barely managed to make her finish once. The third was never going to be anything but another woman to disappoint. And someone replied with a joke, reminds me of the old student joke. I'm not into threesomes. If I want to disappoint 2 people at once, I'll talk to my parents about my studies. I'm not gonna lie, that one got me. Then there was this one. She says the girl was inexperienced but clearly didn't like how well she serviced his girlfriend. Which one is it, Brandon? And that had me dying. One commenter really broke it down. They said, these threesome gone bad stories are all the same, just like the open marriage backfiring stories. They only ever consider their own desires and ignore the discomfort of their partners. Well, AFO. And someone replied, this is my favorite genre of these stories, and honestly, same. Another person put it perfectly. He got pissed that the other girl spent more time and attention making sure that his nervous girlfriend was comfortable instead of being there solely for his own benefit. And honestly, I'm not surprised she started crushing on this other girl either, given it sounds like she cares way more about her feelings and pleasure than the boyfriend did. Someone else said, so you think I'm a manipulator? And yes, I do. And a reply to that said, I noticed that same sentence actually ended by saying he was saying, so you think I'm a manipulator, over and over and overwhelming her with it. So, yep. So you think I'm a manipulator? He asked her manipulatively. And someone replied, of course I do. You're doing it right now. That one got almost 150 upvotes. A lot of people also noticed the age gap in the timeline. One commenter laid it out. My F22 boyfriend, M27. But we've been dating for almost 4 years. It's also my first long-term relationship. And another person said, a guy who went for an 18-year-old while being 23 turned out to be selfish, in bed, and abusive? I'm shocked. Someone else said, it's not an egregious age gap, but I was kind of anticipating from the dynamic that we were going to find out they got together when she was still a teenager. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. One comment had everybody talking. It said, this guy thought he was coercing his girlfriend into having a fantasy threesome with another girl who would only service him. Instead, he got to witness a demonstration of his sexual ineptitude and his girlfriend's gay awakening. Love this for her. Hope she keeps seeing the girl and has many more finishes in her future. That comment. Now, this story does have an update that came just 2 days later, so something clearly clicked for her. Let's see what happened. She says, I have decided to end things with my boyfriend. I honestly went into the conversation prepared to say that we should take a break. Once I actually started talking, I changed my mind. I don't really feel any regret over my decision, or so over my actions in the last couple weeks of our relationship. So she went in thinking break, and came out with breakup. That tells me that once she sat down face to face with him and really looked at the situation clearly, she realized a break wasn't going to fix what was wrong. Good for her, honestly. She continues, he was pretty mad when I told him that we should break up. He didn't really say it. He left me alone. Later he texted me and said he couldn't believe I was throwing away our relationship for this, and that I was going to regret it. Of course he said that. Encouraged me to be happy, and I fixed the bill for someone else. I won't regret this when breaking up. I was breaking up with you. Regret this. He still thinks this is about the boyfriend because he doesn't get that it's bad. He's insecure about his own image, making pressure on her to something she didn't want, and then punished her for the outcome. She even said she didn't get a chance to really explain a lot of things that made the relationship that just weren't right, and the other things that she didn't feel like telling anyone in context, so she just ignored it. Honestly, probably the right call. He wasn't going to hear it anyway. But here's the part that really got people talking. She says, as for the girl, we continued texting, but I'm starting to realize that I might actually have a crush on her, and I feel awful for it. It does feel like I was cheating, and I also feel horrible for dragging her into all of this. And then she says something that honestly kind of broke my heart a little. She doesn't think it would be right to go out with her or continue texting her when she feels this way, so she might just end things with her after all. For a long time, she wasn't sure if she was even into girls, so she's never been in a relationship with one before. But even now that she knows 100%, she doesn't think this is the right time or situation to date a woman for the first time, especially not someone who has been so kind and attentive toward her. She says it would be unfair to her, and she thinks it's probably best to end things now rather than to let them drag on. She also thanked everyone for the wake-up call and said she didn't expect strangers on the internet telling her similar things to what her friends had been telling her to be this helpful. One commenter in response to the update said, I really hope she realizes she doesn't have to stay away from the girl for the ex-loser's sake. Tell her how she feels. She's probably got a crush too since she keeps engaging her, and let something happen. But another person replied with a more thoughtful take. I don't think it's purely for the sake of the ex. She knows that she just got out of a long-term bad situation. It's best that she takes some time to figure herself out before jumping into another relationship. And honestly, I think that second commenter is right. She's making the mature call here, even though it's the harder one. Man, this one's kind of bittersweet. She made the right call leaving that relationship, but I really hope she doesn't shut the door on something that could actually be good for her forever. Sometimes life throws you a curveball, and you just gotta roll with it. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.